Bitcoin and Ethereum. What's its next move? Let's find out in the chart, shall we? Bitcoin has broken down to the lows here and to new lows, and it has pumped up majorly. Now, is it going to continue to M out here and break down even further, or are we going to pump up to some local high? We're going to talk about that and more in today's episode. We're missing Inti, of course, right? He couldn't make it for today's show, but it's going to have a good show anyways. We're going to be talking about my tweet, how I spent a whole day at the bank, and you know what? They didn't give me my money, actually. Because I transferred a bunch of money by accident. We're going to talk a little bit about that today, right? Because that started off a firestorm of positive and negative comments on Twitter. Also, we're going to be talking about other firestorm of FUD, right? What caused the price to drop in Bitcoin and Ethereum? And we're going to talk about that in the news stories today. Also, right, if you like that, you got to hit the like, the subscribe, the bell button and all, because, it's very important that you share this information with all your friends, all your family members, so they can know what's really going on, what's happening in the markets, and maybe even learn how to trade the cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. And if you want to do that, remember, in the pin comment below, there's a $620 bonus on Bybit. So check that out if you're interested in trading. All right, with that said, let's get on with the show. But before we do, right, remember, this is for entertainment purposes only, and it's not financial advice. Please make sure you do your own research before you put any money into the market. All right. Okay. Before we get on to this messy chart, yeah, I know. I was like, well, I should have practiced the beginning, a little intro, a little bit there. I wanna show you guys again this cool blockbuster video. I mean, see, let's subscribe. The guy hits the subscribe. He hits the all button, and he leaves a comment. Oh my god! Alrighty. Oh damn! I cracked myself up. So, as you know, right, Bitcoin, right, has been on a tear lately, downwards, and we're creating what's called a broadening wedge here, broadening descending wedge, and it's clear that we have bounced off of the bottom here, and we've broken this support here. Probably going to have to retest the support, but I think we already have. If we go down to the hourly, right, I think we count as we've retested this support. Unfortunately, we're looking like we want to M out here, and so if we do, this is going to actually break down even further, and we're going to see further downfall. So of course, you could trade this either way, right? Whether it's going up, whether it's going down, it really doesn't matter, right? You can just make sure that when the market lines up, right, that's when you take your trade. All right, sorry, man. I have a little bit of a cold, all right, and that's why I'm going to be I actually started this video earlier today. I didn't do I usually do the live stream at 8, but I'm going to be going to the dentist, and then I'm going to take a day, hopefully, to get over this cold that I'm having. Alrighty. So let's go down to lower time frames, right? We're already started there, and you can see this is not looking good. I thought we were gonna pump a little higher earlier. If you watch earlier's video, it looks like we were gonna pump higher and then break to a W, but it looks like we're now turning that into an M. So hopefully that doesn't happen, right? We don't want to see more downside, really. Nobody wants to see that. Even though, right, honestly, right, even if we do break higher, right, maybe we get up to the 34,000 level. I think the bears have this market under control so far. They lost a little bit of control. If you let's take a look at the volume. Oops, let me just switch tools here. Oops, lost control of the mouse. There we go. Okay, there we go. So, if we add the volume, right, you can see plenty of volume, meaning that the people who are interested in buying here. So the bears might try to test that again, test the resolve of the bulls before we go higher. Now, if they fail and we W out, right? If they fail to break this thing down, we could end up Wing it out finally and then going higher. Might be the W, might be this shorter version of the W. That's why we're seem to be rolling over instead of like this longer one right here. We might be just committing a smaller action Jackson W, which would make a lot of sense because that would be a better target for Bitcoin than the other target, which happens to be above the trend line. All right, the sloping upsloping trend line, which is this one green one right here. I'm going to change the color so that we can identify it a little bit better. Right, that's the upsloping trend line, which is the red line, which we didn't want to cross, but we did, and that was that. So yeah, so this is where our trade. So if we break this level here, the approximately $30,500, we're going down, and if we break above, most likely around $32,000, we're gonna go higher and probably head to $33,500, or maybe a little bit more, the $3,400 level, because that's a key resistance level, and we might try to hit it and then fail and then probably fall back down. Okay, not the greatest news, of course, right? For Bitcoin, but it is what it is. We have to accept what the price tells us and nothing more. All right. And of course, if you want to trade that, once again, right, you could head over to Bybit.davinci15.com, and you could register here and trade on Bybit, and you could check out my tutorial, right, which hopefully my editor can put in a little corner popping up there, a quick start guide in order to learn how to trade with confidence on Bybit. All right. Also, if you're not watching this live, right, you need to purchase the DJ15 token before it blasts off. It looks like it wants to take off, right? You want to get in on that, right? Because you don't want to come to my group and pay more to join this Telegram group to watch me perform, right? And also, right, if you do have this token, right, and you are watching me perform, you might even see it increase in value. And if you head over to my website, right, you could learn about what this token's all about, and the fact that I'm gonna one day buy up all the tokens back from you guys, whatever's left at the current market price. So early adopters will be early winners, right? So that's of course, there is the risk, right? Keep in mind, there is the risk that if I stop doing this, if I take the liquidity out, if I die, right, there is that risk. So you have to accept that as a risk if you do purchase this token. Okay, I don't want to give anybody false hopes, right? Alrighty, with that said, let's head over to Ethereum. Let's see what's going on with Ethereum. Ethereum, it has also bounced, but it hasn't created a new local low. A new local low would have been approximately, right? Let's just move up here. I was kind of shocked that it didn't do that, and pleasantly shocked. Because I was ready to buy this level here, the 88, just below this level here. I felt it should come down here, but I'm gonna wait. I feel it should come around to at least, because we're so close to the 200 period moving average on the 4 hour. I find it hard that it's not gonna even go, hey, how you doing for 200 period moving average? It's been a while since we saw you. And say hello, right? So I'm going to be waiting down there to see if I can catch a buy order from there and ride that thing higher. that's where I'm at right now, right? As you know, Ethereum has completed its W pattern, right? If you missed this, right, from the other show, you saw that this was the W where the market was looking at, smiling at you, right? It was time to take this trade, right? Because it was clearly smiling at you. Um, hang on, and right, once you take the breakout trade, you could see. Let's see here. Let's take that. We could take this all the way down here. And there we go. So we kind of at the target, right? We didn't quite make it, right? But I think, don't worry, it's going to get there, right? It may not, it may take a while, it might come up and then come back down, but I feel that these lower levels will probably be tested before the end, before we see new highs above here. Alrighty, let me just head over to my colored charts and see if I can see any other possibilities here. 61.8 was tested. We didn't go to 78.6. Let's see here. On the 4 hour, let's go to the daily. Well, I can see some. I can see my AB equals CD, even though it's still valid, right? It is still valid actually because we haven't broke this level. So my AB equals CD is still valid at. Oh, this one. Oh, okay. So this one was a shorter AB equals CD, which should not. It doesn't look like there was the right place to put that AB equals CD, because this is the W right here. All right. Well, let me just eliminate that. All right, and yeah. So it's interesting how we created a rising wedge, right? We broke out, but this turned into a failed move, which equals a fast move in the opposite direction, right? How is this a failed move? Well, on a symmetrical triangle or a rising wedge triangle, right? Let me just draw out the triangle first for you guys, so you can see it here. Boom, boom. So we were supposed to head up to like 16,000. We did not. So that turns into a failed move, which equals a fast move in the opposite direction. And that's exactly what we got, right? So, yeah, keep that in mind, right? When you see the markets lining up, ready to go, everything, your pattern's ready to go, you take the trade, you're like real happy. All right, we're making money. Wow, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. And then it comes back around at you. Yeah, just keep in mind that that's a failed move equals a fast move in the opposite direction. Okay. So right now, the daily was been overbought for quite some time. So we're resetting, right? We're seeing a reset of all the statistics of the indicators here, because they've been overextended for quite some time. Unfortunately, this does not bode well. Well, because what do we see here? What do we see here? Yes, that's correct. You are not blind. You are seeing a divergence. And to add insult to injury, we are seeing it has been confirmed. So that means a bear market is here for Ethereum, right? It only gets negated if we create a new high. So not probably going to have to re-examine my my long position, right? And then instead look for a short position instead. Alrighty. So with that said, because of that dynamic, I might have to re-examine that short position, that long position that I'm waiting for down there, and look for. I have to, once I see something in the market, I have to accept what it is, what's happening, and act. Even though I already had a plan that was to go long. Now I have to change my plan because I see something. Because I said, hey guys, let's take a look at the longer time frames. Let's see if we can see anything, and we did. So guess where I'm looking for my short? Yes, that's correct. At the Hail Mary level 78.6. Right? You gotta pray. Once it comes at you, you gotta pray, because it could keep going and really hurt you. So that's why I call it the Hail Mary trade. And so it goes right to the top of this. If we break here, that's it. It negates. It helps negate the what's it called, the divergence a little bit, depending on how high we go, of course. Alrighty. Because we could always have a double divergence as well, right? You just don't know, right? Right, you just take the best, your best shot, and you go for it. That's where I would. This is where I'd be looking for a trade, and I do believe, we did see indications of that target was of $1,300 was a possibility on the lower time frames, as Ethereum is about to create a nice little W here, right, which could take it to the $1,300 level, right there. Let me just finish this off. Just realize what time it is, man, already. I tend to blather on a little bit, but here we go. There we go. Right, oh, look at that. It takes us right up there. Right up to that trade. So we could trade up here to up here, and then go double dip it, and then go, okay, well, it's going higher. It's going down now. All right, I'm going to take the opposite of that trade now and go the opposite direction. Right, and do a double dip. All right, so I'm going to just leave that in my Pandora's Wallet subscribers box right here, so those people know I'm looking for this short, right? Since we've seen a divergence on the daily. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, with that said, let's head over to the news of today, right? Oh, Bitcoin, right? What? It falls 11% after a report suggests a critical flaw in Bitcoin currency called a double spend may have occurred? Oh my God! Oh my God. Well, I don't know. I think by now you've probably heard, right, that it was actually an RBF transaction, or a replaced by fee transaction, not a double spend transaction, which was BitMEX was saying. BitMEX, their research was saying, and it's like, oh my goodness, it's nonsense. This was a complete FUD, probably drummed up by people who are shorting the market, right? And remember what I said, right? People could have been leasing coins, taking coins from different places. And in fact, I was talking to BlockFi to find out how they make their money in order to give you the percentage of income on BlockFi. And I found out that basically they lend out your Bitcoin so that other traders can trade with it. And they make sure that they have a large cushion, very large cushion, so that they'd have to return those Bitcoins if that cushion were to be shrunk down. So you don't have to worry about losses at all until actually, which I asked them, what about tail risk? Well, what happens if the US dollar snaps, right, and it just collapses, and drops like 100%, 200% overnight. What is the policy there, and what will happen there? Because most likely they won't be able to get back the bitcoins, right? To you. So if their answer is, hey, well, you just take that risk, that's fine. You just need to know what those risks are. Just like I told you with the DJ15 token, I told you what the risks are, right? Because when you lend money, right, you have to know what the risks are. You have to know all of them, and that's why they're giving you such a high percentage rate, is because they're lending out on a high percentage rate, and probably because the risk is the dollar could collapse and they could not get those bitcoins back. I don't know. They're going to find out that answer for me. If they have some sort of mitigated systems to mitigate that, great. If they don't, I understand. It'll be next to impossible to do so. So we just need to know what we are being exposed to. Should we leave our money in BlockFi? And that's why I think. And so I believe that somebody with large sums of money called up all the mainstream media and said, "Hey, listen, you know what? We need to keep this market pushing down so I can get some liquidity and buy some Bitcoin, right? And I don't need to push the price down with all my Bitcoins here that I borrowed, so I can buy back cheap, right? Can you put it at this news story?" That's what it really is, right? I mean, these guys, the mainstream media has long forgotten what's it called, responsible journalism a long time ago. Don't expect it ever to exist. Alrighty, moving on to my tweet, right? So I was at the bank for like 3 hours. I actually stayed there the whole day pretty much, and because I transferred a lot of money because I thought Buddha was hacked, because I transferred 50 Ethereum to Bybit, and then it didn't show up. And the reason why is because they used a smart contract. And when I checked it, I didn't see the 50 Bitcoins on the address, right? Because they did an internal transfer in order to reduce their transaction fees. And so what they had given me was a transaction ID to the, what's it called? The smart contract instead of to my address. And so I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? And so I went looking around and looking at all the addresses that I was going to, and I saw that there was a lot of transfers to that address. And it's like, what the heck? Maybe they don't know they've been hacked. Oh my God, I freaked out. So I got my cash out, and I deposited it to my account, and yeah, so without waiting for confirmation from them, because I sent them an email saying, what the heck is this? Why is it not showing up? Right? And I didn't realize it until one of my developers pointed out, hey, they're using a smart contract, and here's the money, and that's why. And you need to talk to Bybit. Bybit does not support internal transfers, and that is what happened. All right, so that's why I accidentally transferred that money, and I knew, I was feeling, oh man, they're not gonna let you have that back. That the banks, they're just not. That's not happening. Right? So yeah, you can't have your money in the bank, right? They're just not going to give it to you, right? Because once you give a bank your money, it's not yours. So you have to understand that it's theirs, right? And so when I asked them to transfer it back, and I explained the whole story, they asked me. I explained that story to the same person about 10 times, right? And they were like, you need to justify. I mean, are you kidding? I did justify it. Where'd the money? I just told you, right? And yeah, it was just not. It was like in through one ear, out through the other every time I was speaking, and they just would not. It was just a nightmare. So I will be working on a solution for that for the next coming weeks. Hopefully, I can figure it out. Alrighty. But it's nice problems to have, right? I guess. And by the way, it's 200 million pesos, not dollars. Because I live in Chile, remember? Right? And we do use the dollar sign. So, yeah, pesos, not dollars. All right. But it's still a substantial amount of money. Okay. Well, this, this whole sell-off thing, you saw this, it became a roller coaster ride, right? $100 billion is wiped out of the market thanks to, a bunch of people who probably were selling this thing off. Ooh, are we going to pump? Are we going to pump? Yeah, wow. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's go down to the shorter time frames. Oh, yes. It's gone. It is, and we're off. Yes, we are going to that level that I just spoke. So look for that and for my next exactly as a predicted video. Interesting enough, right? If we break this broadening wedge, create a W here, a very forceful W, we could break this level here, the 3,400 level. So just keep that in mind. But that's a long way off, speculation, man. So, but this whole ride reminded me of something, right? This video, right? And I want to play this for you guys. Yes, the Enron ride of broken dreams, right? Right, where you just ride up, right? You're like, we're all gonna be rich. No, we're gonna break even. Poorhouse for all the leverage traders. Pretty sad, I know. This was like this is exactly what happened here, right? It was like, done. Oh boy, well, that's the trader's life, right? So hopefully you shorted this thing and you didn't actually go long on this, because it's really injured a lot of people, I'm sure, that don't watch our videos here. So, all right, well, let's see how this thing plays out as throughout the day. Okay, well, I think I'm going to end the stream right here. Thank you all for watching, right? Remember, right, if you want to help out the channel, you could hit the like, you could hit the subscribe, and you could hit the bell button and all. And you know what? I'm going to talk about one more thing. I know I blather on too much, and I know I have my dentist appointment, but I just want to share something with you, right? If you hit the all button, right, what do you get, right? If you hit the all button, because not a lot of people know what they get when you hit the all button. No, thank you for all the 32,800 subscribers in the last month. Really appreciate that. Once you hit the all button, you're gonna get these messages that I pop up every once in a while, and there's information about Bitcoin that I don't really talk about because I just assume you all know that, right? But you don't, right? And there's like really good, cool, tips and information that could help you in the future. So make sure that you subscribe and hit the all button so that you can get that information. It's very important. Okay. All right. So thank you for watching. Remember, Bitcoin's real. Bitcoin's here to stay. You need to be a part of it, and you need to click the video that's popping up at the end screen here, which is the Bybit quick start guide. Thank you very much. Cheers, people.